Hey, I've got a question for you today on Daily Hope. I want you to think about your life. Just take a moment, zoom out, think about your whole life. What is the most broken down, impossible situation in your life today? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a marriage. Maybe it's your finances, your career. Maybe it's your mental health and well-being. What is it that's most broken down in your life? That breakdown in your life, it might be because you failed in some way, or it might just be something like cancer or some situation that life in a fallen world, a life in a world infected by sin, you have this problem in your life, but you didn't necessarily do something wrong to bring it into your life. No matter what that problem is, it ultimately can be traced back to people failing. Adam and Eve failed in the Garden of Eden. Now all of our bodies die. Whether it was your failure or a failure of someone you trusted and loved, or the failure of Adam and Eve, we've been going through these themes in Nehemiah, and we've seen, sure enough, people fail, and the pain touches all of our lives. But yesterday, we saw the beginning of the good news. God's promises never fail. That's the second theme. God's promises will not fail you if you will build your life upon them. And that brings us to today's theme, which is really where the good news starts to kind of blossom and unfold. And it's this: restoration is possible. That situation that you feel is impossibly broken, that situation that is so far beyond repair, restoration is always possible for people who turn to God. May I just encourage you, you are turning to God by what you're doing right now. You're looking into His Word for hope. You're looking for spiritual guidance. Restoration is possible for you as you continue to turn to God. And what do you need to do as you turn to God? You need to keep claiming His promises. That's what Nehemiah does all throughout the book of Nehemiah. And I want to just take you into chapter 2, verse 17, when Nehemiah is rallying the people, and he says this: "You know very well what trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire. So let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem and end this disgrace." And it's an example of Nehemiah saying, hey, God promised that if we return to Him, He'll help us rebuild. And so, because God promised, I'm now going to go do my part. I'm going to do what I can. You see, it's not just that Nehemiah prayed and then God magically resurrected the walls from the ruins. No, Nehemiah prayed, and then Nehemiah had to step out in faith. He had to turn to God. He had to claim God's promises. He had to do what he could do with his hands, with his mouth, with his life, with his energy. So the restoration for that situation in your life, it can only happen with God, but also you have a role to play in it. So I wonder today, whatever broken down thing you identified, would you just let God know, God, I'm turning to you with this. I do claim your promises for this. And God, show me what my role is in rebuilding what's broken down in my life. See you tomorrow.